I'm Saturday hauling for you guys today, and I'm going to go ahead and start off with a couple skincare repurchases. I needed to get another one of the Paulus Choice Daily Skin Clearing Treatment, and I use the 2.5% benzoyl peroxide version. This does come in an extra strength version as well that is a 5% benzoyl peroxide, but my tube was getting low, and I use this every single morning after I cleanse and tone my face as a treatment product for my acne-prone skin, and it really helps to keep acne at bay for me. So I've been using this for a very long time, and I just use like a little kind of dime size amount and put it all over my face every single morning as a treatment to help out with acne. And then I also got the Eminence Organic Skincare Strawberry Rhubarb Dermafoliant with lactic acid. This is also a repurchase for me. My bottle is getting low there too, so I got this guy. It comes in a 4.2 ounce tin bottle that's like a salt or pepper shaker, and I just put some of this in my hand, and then I like to mix it with a gel or kind of even a cream cleanser will work. And that is my morning cleanse. I do use a retin-A at night, so I do have a little bit of skin that can come off in the morning, and it's something that I've been using for a very long time as well, this product from Eminence. So I did go ahead and get another one of those guys. And then I placed an order on the Sephora website with the 20% off coupon that they're doing. I think it actually ends today, but they sent out another coupon code that you can get 20% off. It was just a one-time use. It's actually where I got the Paulus Choice, because Sephora now carries Paulus Choice as well. But I got a backup of the 7 Virtues Vanilla Woods perfume. I love this stuff. It's a really, really good vanilla that's not sickeningly sweet, but it also has a bit of an interesting factor to it. And I like the 7 Virtues Perfume Company as well. It says this perfume supports local education and healthcare. Our fair trade vanilla is sourced from a sustainable cooperative that provides families with fair wages. So I like that about it as well. So just some of the notes on here. For me, it's a definite vanilla with a really beautiful twist to it. So it's got top note is pear, the heart note is rose, and then the base note is vanilla and caramel, made with organic sugarcane alcohol. It's just a really good one if you like a vanilla. It does come in a 1.7 fluid ounce bottle, and that is the largest bottle that it comes in. It doesn't have like a 3.4 ounce, but this would be, I want to say, the third or fourth bottle of this that I have purchased, and this is what the bottle looks like if you were interested in seeing that. But this is just a really pretty vanilla. I also purchased the Anastasia Beverly Hills Loose Setting Powder, and I originally purchased this powder in the translucent version, which is a white. So I went ahead and I got the vanilla because I really like the setting powder on the skin. It looks really pretty. It sets foundation really well. It comes with a ton of product, and it's pretty affordable with the amount of product that it comes with. So the translucent version, it does put a little bit of a white cast on my skin. So if I use a deeper foundation, I can use the translucent version, but with a foundation shade that I just want to use, it actually lightens it a bit. So I went ahead and I got the vanilla version, and that's actually the setting powder that I have on my face today. And the vanilla works great with any of my foundations, so I don't kind of have to worry about a bit of a white cast. So I went ahead and I got this. I do like the translucent, but again, it does lighten up my face a little bit more than I would like, so that's why I went ahead and got this guy. And it comes in a really large jar. It's 0.9 ounces, and this is made in the USA. It's just a sifter style packaging like that. I'll do a little bit of a swatch. These powders have, like, you know, some pigmentation to them, so translucent I wouldn't say is necessarily translucent. Even the vanilla, you can see it's got a bit of coverage to it, but it doesn't feel heavy or anything like that on the skin. So that is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Loose Powder in vanilla right there. I also got one of the Giorgio Armani Lip Powers. It's the Long Wear Vivid Color Lipstick, and I got the shade 102 Romanza. This is a Michelle Wong inspired purchase for sure. She loves this lip product, so I was like, let's give it a try. I was just worried about it being a light enough color for me, and it is. It's a really beautiful, easy to wear nude, and I want to get some more because they feel so comfortable on the lips, and they have this like glossy shine to it that almost looks like you have a lip gloss on, but it stays really well on the lips, and it still feels hydrating for a really long time. So this formulation is really beautiful. It is made in France, and there's 0.11 ounces of product in there. The packaging's longer and skinnier. It's kind of got a little bit of a twisty type effect to it, and then the cap kind of pops on there. I really like the shape of the bullet as well. That point just really works well when you're putting on the lipstick. So again, this is the shade 102 Romanza. I've been wearing it a lot. It's just a really pretty, easy to wear nude. And there is a bit of translucency with this too. So I think that it's going to be a really wearable nude for a lot of people because of that slight translucency. But you can see the glossy kind of finish that it has. It's a substantial formula. It doesn't slide all over the lips. Really, really nice formula. Like I said, I want to get a couple more of these as well. So that is the Giorgio Armani 102 Romanza Lip Power lipstick right there. And then next up, I got some items from Valentino Beauty. Sephora now carries Valentino. So I got 3 items from the line. I got one of the Rosso Valentino satin lipsticks, and I got the shade 101A. It is hot beige, and there's 0.12 ounces of product in here, and this is also made in France. So here's the box packaging right here. I heard all kinds of different opinions on the packaging. It is plasticky, but I kind of expected it to feel cheaper or lighter weight than it actually does. So the plastic outside casing is a cheaper, lighter kind of plastic, I guess, but the packaging itself does have a decent amount of weight to it. I mean, it's not like the heaviest one in my collection, but it's not the lightest. It doesn't feel super light. There's a heft to it, so it's not terrible. I don't mind it. I think it's okay, but like, I mean, the actual, like, you know, plastic piece feels a little bit light, but the whole component itself has some weight to it. So this is actually the lipstick that I have got on my lips today. The formulation is really pretty. It's a little bit, I don't want to say slick. It's a little bit of a thinner formula with a little bit of a slip to it, which makes it feel really comfortable and hydrating on the lips. And initially when I put it on, I thought it might be one of those kinds that kind of slides over the lips a little bit, but it doesn't. It stays in place really nicely. So I've got it on actually with my current favorite lip liner, which is the Too Faced Badass lip liner. That goes with so many different lipsticks, and it just glides on so nice. So that's the combination that I have on my lips today. So this shade is called Hot Beige, but it's actually kind of a light rose pink color. So I'll just swatch it next to that Armani lipstick there for reference. But it's a warm, rosy, light pink. Very flattering though. It's a very flattering shade. And I quite like this lipstick. I think the shade, again, is flattering and the formulation feels really nice on the lips. It almost has like a lip balm feel to it, like the texture of it. So that is the Rosso Valentino 101A Hot Beige lipstick right there. And then this is what the packaging looks like. This gold component kind of sticks out a little bit, but you can like clip it off if you want. It goes on like that. You just can't put it on like this where the gold meets the logo. So just kind of a different kind of packaging there. And then I also got one of the Eye to Cheek dual use and eyeshadows. So this is it can be used on the eyes or the cheek, but I got it for a blush, and this is the shade 03 Rosa Emozioni. Maybe it's that one right there. And I've been using it again as a blush. There's 0.12 ounces of product in here, and this guy here is made in France as well. So the packaging looks like this. Now this packaging does feel much lighter weight than the lipstick. Does it feel a little cheap? Yeah, maybe, but it's not too terrible. I don't mind it. And then I've also seen this poor little brush that comes in the compact there has really been getting a lot of flack. I, for one, actually think it's functional. I used this to apply the blush today, so you can see that I used kind of the length of the whole bristle. If you put it on its side and just kind of go like this, it buffs the product on really nice. And I mean, if you were to get a bigger brush or a more like brush size style brush with this, it would make the compact much larger. So I think that this little brush is functional and it's useful in a compact this small. So I don't mind this little brush that's in here. Again, I used it to put it on my cheeks today, and I just kind of put it on its side like this and went like this, and it put it on really nice. And it's a nice soft synthetic in there. So I don't mind it. I just feel bad for the little guy. He's been getting some flack, I've seen. So this is the blush shade that I got right here. Again, this is number 3. Rose Emozioni, and it's got a plum sheen to it. When you first look at it, you wouldn't think that it goes on quite as deep on the cheeks as it does. So this is the blush that I have on my cheeks today, but there is a definite plummy undertone to this. Yeah, you can see right there how much more plummy that's coming out than it originally kind of looks in the pan here. Let me grab a little bit more. And this is a satin finish. It's definitely got a little bit of a sheen to it. That plummy undertone, if I were to build it up a little bit heavier on my skin tone, it can start to look a little bit muddy-ish. So I don't like to build up this blush shade on my skin tone because, again, it does pull a little bit muddy if I were to build it up. But a nice light layer looks super pretty. Again, that's the blush that I have on my cheeks. The formulation is very smooth. It goes on really nicely, feels nice. I kind of want... There's a peachy shade and then like a warm pink shade that I want to get from this blush range. Again, the formulation feels really nice. So that is the Valentino Eye to Cheek Dual Use Blush and Shadow. I've not used it as a shadow just yet. I've only used it as a blush, but... And then I had to give the Dreamlust Multi-Reflective Eye Glitters a try. I just got one. I initially wanted to go all in and buy all 4 of them, but I was like, just try one. I'm trying to be better about that kind of thing. So I got the shade 02 Go for Gold. There's 3.1 grams or 0.1 ounces of product, which is a pretty decent amount of product that you're getting. And this one here is actually made in Korea. So it comes in a little glass jar packaging. It's got the Valentino there. And there's a stopper in here. It's easy to grab, but it's quite flimsy. It's not like a thicker kind of plastic. It's pretty thin. And this here is a glitter suspended in like a gel base. I'm very interested to see the longevity of the gel to see if it dries out or not. It is in a glass pot and there is a stopper, so hopefully that will help. But the glitter particles in here are a little bit large, I think. So that little sparkle of glitters that you see on my lid right there is this little pot. And I just dipped my finger in here and patted it on. And I think it looks really pretty. It was a very easy to use glitter product. And so far, I've had this makeup on for quite a while now. I want to say like 5 hours. And I don't have any glitter fallout on my face. So it's posing to be a pretty promising little pot of glitter here. If I could change one thing about it, they could have refined the sizes of the glitter a little bit. When I look in the mirror, I can actually see piece by piece the glitter pieces. So they could have refined the size of the glitters in here a little bit, and I think that would have made this just a stunning product. Not that it isn't already, because again, it's a really easy to apply glitter product. But I do wish the glitters were a little bit more refined. So this one here is 02 again. They adhere just really well though with that base that they're mixed with. So yeah, definitely not mad at it. I'm going to use it probably quite a bit here for the next couple weeks because I think it's pretty. And if the formulation suspends that glitter and stays kind of, you know, gel-like for a while, I might end up picking up a shade or 2 more of these because they're, again, really easy to apply glitters. And I think that it looks really pretty on. I just think a more refined glitter would have been even nicer, but they are nice glitter products for sure. So that is the 02 Dream Dust right there. It's the shade Go for Gold. I do have another repurchase here from Sephora. I got another one of the Master Metal Manipulators from Makeup by Mario. I really like the bottle and the dropper to put this in with my cake liners. It does make them a little bit longer lasting than just using water. I was going to get the Lethal Cosmetics mixing medium that just came out, but it says right on the website not to use it with water activated products. So these cake liners are water activated. There are probably 50% of the mediums that I've tried just will not mix with water activated cake liners, like the Inglot Duraline. That will not mix with them. I've got a couple other really liquidy ones and they'll just create like this hard surface on the top, but they won't mix in with the product. This does. It's not foolproof. I haven't found like a waterproof version like this or anything, but it does make it last a little bit longer than water. So mine is actually getting a little low, so I got another one of these guys right here. I also picked up the new Artist Couture Supreme Nudes, the Quickie eyeshadow palette, which this is the packaging. There is a total of 8 shades that are 0.02 ounces a piece, so you are not getting a lot of product per eyeshadow. And it says bulk made in the USA, assembled in the Dominican Republic. So this is his smaller style packaging. I do really like his packaging. It's got like kind of rounded edges and stuff. And then this guy's got a nice mirror in there, and then 8 shadows. So there are 3 like shimmery shades with some really, really fine sparkles in them, and then 5 mattes. This shade I wish was just a little bit lighter. So when I used it, I did pull in Aether Beauty because I wanted a little bit brighter inner corner. But the overall look that came out of this was just a really pretty, sparkly, grungy, smoky eye, and I really enjoyed it. So I got along with the formula nice. The mattes are nicely pigmented. The shimmers are really pretty. And had that one kind of champagne shade just been a little bit lighter, this would have just been a super easy one and done pretty eye for me. But then this bottom row. See, that's got a little bit more of a tan undertone to it. But the little sparkles that are in these shimmer shades are very pretty. So that guy there is the new Artist Couture, Supreme Nudes, the Quickie right there. And then I also purchased the new Viseart Paris Etoile Petite eyeshadow palette. This one has got the 8 shades in it. So this has got 0.28 ounces of product, or 8 grams. So each shadow is actually a gram, which is pretty decent considering the size of this guy. So again, this is one of their little petite pros. And then it's got the little night scenery on there. And then there's a plastic cover, and then there are your 8 shades. So this is actually the palette that I have on my eyes, and then I used that glitter from Valentino kind of topped over this really sparkly shade right here. I thought that I was going to do like a purple look out of here, and I use this deep purple looking shade, but it goes on as a blue purple. So it actually looks more blue blended out than it does look purple like in the pan there. But I think the look turned out super pretty. Like, I think, did they refer to it as like a Starry Night kind of palette? That's what it reminds me of, is like a Starry Night kind of eyeshadow palette. There are 4 shades with shimmer or sparkle in there, and then 4 mattes. So these 2 are matte, and then these 2 are matte. I was going back and forth between the blue and the purple, and I was like, oh, well, we'll do purple today, but that kind of turned blue anyway. So this is probably going to be a little bit even brighter blue than that purple looking blue shade, but it's very pretty. Same good quality from Viseart, and I got along with the formula really well. Very little to no fallout. They blended beautifully. That one blends like right into my skin tone, that shade. And then this bottom row. And these are magnetized too, so you can pull them out. I've actually got all my Petite Pros in a larger magnetic palette. Yeah, that swatch doesn't look that smooth, but a lot of the times Viseart eyeshadows don't swatch how well they perform on the eyes, and that's exactly how I feel about this shade, because I just dipped my brush in there and it blended out really nicely through the crease. So again, this is what's on my eyes, and that's the new Viseart Paris Etoile eyeshadow palette right there. And then I also purchased 2 products from the new Tom Ford. I believe these are the Extreme Badass collection. So this is one of 2 new palettes. I wanted to get the other one as well, but it was on back order, and I think it shows sold out on the Beautylish website right now. But if I would have ordered it with this one would have waited to ship until the back order one came in, and I wanted it like right now. So I still might try to pick up that other one at a later date, but I got this one primarily because I saw Angela Van Rose. She's on Instagram and also has a YouTube channel. She swatched this palette, and the formulation is much different than the other Tom Ford palettes that I have in my collection, and I can confirm that it's a new formula from Tom Ford. All the shades in this quad are like a shimmer metallic with some very, very fine, I would say there are probably micro glitters. They're not super, super gritty, but they're very, very fine micro glitters in there. Nice pigmentation. They go on really nice. I don't get a ton of drop down with them. So I'm happy that I got this one. And I haven't purchased a Tom Ford quad in a minute just because his formula has been hit or miss. And then too, there's just I've got so many beautiful eyeshadows that in order for me to want to spend that kind of money on a Tom Ford quad now, it better be good, you know what I mean? It better compete. I'm going to make you guys compete on the eye, okay? So I feel like this one does that. It's really pretty, and the packaging on this is stunning. So this is the silver box, and it's called the X2 Lava Luster. It is made in Italy. There's 0.35 ounces of product, or 10 grams across 4 shades, so you are getting a massive amount of product. It does come with a white sleeve as well. And this packaging is a gradient, silver to white, which is, I think, is super pretty. I love that he's switching up the colors and stuff on his compacts. And then you've got the little Tom Ford double-ended situation there, which I typically don't use. And then here are your 4 shades. So wait till you see how nice these swatch and how shiny and how metallic they are. This is what I want to see when I spend this kind of money on a quad like this. Super shiny metallic. Again, these do have super fine micro glitters in them, but they're suspended in the formula very well. I do think that there could have been a little bit more differentiation between these 2 shades. One of them is a little bit more bronzy, and then one of them is a little bit more orangey, but they do look quite similar, as you can see right there. So I wish there was just a little bit more dimension between those 2. Like, one could have been a little bit darker, but they're beautiful, beautiful shadows. I'd like to see more of these from Tom Ford. I'd like to know if the other quad, which is very cool toned, it's got 2 shimmer looking shades in that one and 2 mattes, I believe. I wonder so much if those 2 shades are like this formulation with 2 mattes. Oof, and a cool shadow. That one might be very pretty as well, but this one here is the new Tom Ford X2 Lava Luster. You can see those are really, really pretty. So I am glad I got this guy. And then I also got one of the Extreme Badass lip colors. So this one's got 0.11 ounces of product, and this lipstick is made in the USA. So I got the shade 03 Blush New NU. It's so hard to tell online, so I was crossing my fingers hoping that this would be like my kind of light kind of nude, and it is. It's a very, very beautiful nude. The packaging on this one also goes from a gradient silver to white. Very classy looking, very pretty. And I can say the newer Tom Ford lip products that I have purchased have not changed or turned on me like some of his older formulations, so I do believe they have since been reformulated. And Tom Ford lipsticks used to have like a vanilla scent to them. This one doesn't smell like anything, like at all. I just love this packaging. This packaging is so pretty. So here's the lipstick right here. And this is a satin matte lipstick. It goes on really nice and opaque. I like to wear it with the Too Faced Badass Lip Liner. They go together. They're both badass. And it's a perfect match. So again, this is like a satin matte finish. It feels really comfortable on the lips. It does have a little bit of slip to it, but not too much for that kind of a light nude shade. And it looks really pretty for a satin matte being that light of a shade. So I am glad that I picked this one up as well. So that one is the number 3, what did I say it was called? Blush New lipstick from that same collection. Isn't it fun to like look at the shine on those shadows? They're so pretty. Next up, I placed an order on the Laura Lee Los Angeles website during Black Friday and got a really good deal on 3 of her eyeshadow palettes. There was actually a bundle of her 2 nude eyeshadow palettes, both the larger one and the smaller one. And then so that was discounted, and then you got another discount off of that with the percentage they were doing on Black Friday. And then I also got the Candy Skies eyeshadow palette, and I hadn't tried anything from the Laura Lee range, so I wasn't sure what to expect, but I am happy to report that this formulation is really nice. There's nothing super like revolutionary about the colors or anything like that, but the shadow formulation itself is a very beautiful formula. It works super well. They're pigmented, they blend out really well, and I've used all 3 of these palettes, but I haven't used every single shade in all 3 of these palettes, so hopefully you can kind of tell from the swatches whether or not they're going to be something that you like. So I'll start off with the Nudie Patootie palette. So there are 14 shades in this guy that are 0.06 ounces per shade, which is a lot of product that you're getting in here. And it says on the packaging that it's made in the USA. So this is a cardboard packaging. with a mirror in there. And I really like kind of the tones, the olivey tones of some of these. And again, the majority of these are a standard formula. This particular palette has got a shade right here that's like a kind of duochrome that's a high shine metallic. It's just absolutely stunning. So let's give you some swatches here. I'm very happy with these palettes that I got from the line. And I do want to get that blush palette. The blush palette that day was not part of the sale, so I didn't get it, but it's got some really pretty shades in there. These next guys. And then this shade is like a bronze with a kind of olive green undertone to it. This color here is just beautiful. This palette is a standalone for me too, but the other two I do end up bringing in a lighter shade. But this one's got a nice light shade in it. And then these last two. So really pretty neutral palette with some beautiful olive kind of shades in there and some peaches. So that is the Laura Lee Nudie Patootie eyeshadow palette right there. And then I'm just going to leave the swatches on my arm and swatch the Nudie number 2 palette so you can see them next to each other in both swatches, and then I'll show them next to each other right here too. So the top one is the Nudie 2. That one's not a standalone for me, and the bottom one is the Nudie Patootie right there. There's some really pretty shimmers in here too. The shade Nudie and Cheeky are like that other shade in the palette. Super high shine metallic shades that are very pretty. Let's swatch these guys. See, just some super high shine there. So I just want to be able to like show you them together, just in case you're trying to decide between the two. I should mention real quick, this is a 10-pan palette. This is also made in the USA, and each shade is 0.053 ounces, so just a little bit less product than the other one, but it's still a lot of product that you're getting per shadow. I wish these were magnetized. That would have been like super handy. Right here. And then these last two. Another one of those really shiny ones. So that one right there is the Nudie number 2, and then you can see the Nudie number 1 right there. So a little bit kind of berries and peaches in the Nudie compared to the Nudie Patootie. And then this last one is the Candy Skies and Aaron Weaver. It must be a collaboration palette. I guess I didn't realize that. It's a 14-pan palette that has 0.05 ounces per shade. So the least amount per pan out of the 3, but still 0.05 ounces is a decent amount that you're getting per shade too. The packaging is super pretty. This is kind of a pairing palette for me. There is a light matte in here, a light white matte that I can mix with the other shades, but primarily I like to use this to pair with other shades. So there's just a ton of really bright colors. There's some kind of duochromy ones down here that are really stunning, and just some really pretty mattes. I love these pastel, like sky blue and a mint shade. Very pretty. And these are nice and pigmented. Good formulation in all 3 of these palettes. And these next 3. these guys. The times that I used this palette, I actually paired them with the Nudie Patootie one. Oh, I love this color. And then these last two here. Very pretty. So that one is the Candy Skies eyeshadow palette right there from Laura Lee Los Angeles. And then I was watching Butte Bean here on YouTube, and she had talked about Likely Makeup, and I follow It's Likely Makeup on Instagram, and somewhere along the lines I missed the fact that she has got a makeup line. So I went ahead and I got 3 of her palettes, 2 blush palettes, and then also the Ugly eyeshadow palette, which I did wear. I've worn all 3 of these palettes actually, and they're very nice products. The packaging is so cute. I absolutely love the packaging on this. So I'll just start off with the eyeshadow palette. So she calls it the Ugly eyeshadow palette. It's a pressed pigment palette, and this is the box packaging. It's going to be hard for me to throw away like the unicartons. This guy is made in China, and does it say how much product is in here? It should. 12 shades that are 1 gram each. It says 12 times 1 gram. So decent amount of product that you're getting. Here is the actual packaging. So the background is these really pretty butterflies, and then there's that imagery from the box but in color on the back of it. It's just really cute. And then it says Ugly on it. So I actually wore this palette yesterday and the look turned out really pretty. I think you can get a pretty wearable look for such a bright looking eyeshadow palette. I wore this shade on the inner portion and then this blue on the rest of the lid. I put the brown in the crease and then I blended out with this orange and then put this underneath the brow. Super pretty, but there are 8 matte shades, which are the top 2 rows, and then the bottom row are shimmer shades. And it worked really nice. They're nicely pigmented. They blended out nice. Again, the packaging is super cute. And I believe I think I got 20% off if I'm not mistaken, because there was a sale going on there too. But there are the first 4. It's funny because it's called the Ugly palette, but for whatever reason I just think it's really cute. Really great pigmentation. So these are all mattes, these first 8. These ones here are the shimmer shades. They're very shiny, almost borderline metallic, but not quite metallic. Like shimmer metallics. Very pretty though. So that is from Likely Makeup, and it's the Ugly Pressed Pigment palette. I don't think it's ugly. And then I also got the 2 blush palettes from Likely Makeup as well. So this first one is called Clown Blush, and the packaging on this is very cute as well. So there are 4 shades of blush in here, but you can use them on your eyes and stuff like that, I'm sure. This one here is made in China, and there is a total 4 times 5 grams, or total of 20 grams of product. So each blush shade is 5 grams in there. So again, cardboard packaging. So they're all matte shades, and with this yellow, you can kind of dip between different shades to create different colors in this one. But I'm just going to swatch all of these here. When I had used it, I actually mixed this pink with the yellow for a blush shade, but these are very, very pigmented. So just a really light, fluffy brush is how I would use them anyway. So that is the Clown Blush right there. And again, with this packaging, it's very cute. And the other blush palette is called Fairy Blush, and this packaging is so cute as well. Same amount of product. This is also made in China, so 5 grams per shade. And I've worn 2 of the blushes, but I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to use the other 2 just yet, because they are not your average blush shades. So here is the packaging. I mean, how cute. It's the cutest little fairy on the front. I love it. And then here are your 4 blush shades right here. So you can mix this purple with the pink to get more of a, purple toned pink, or you can mix the orange with the pink to get more of a coral. You can use the purple a little bit more, mixing then I'm trying to figure out how to use that teal just yet. We'll toy around with it at some point, but right now I have not used that, this tealy mint green shade. These are all matte shades as well. They just look super fun. And I love the packaging. They're like pastels almost. So that one right there is the Fairy blush palette from Likely Makeup. It is so cute. And that's everything that I have that I purchased this week. And then I have 2 PR packages. And this first one is super exciting for me because this is something I have purchased for years. And it is the Wayne Goss Holiday Brush. So this isn't out just yet, but I'm going to show it because it launches on Tuesday before I do my next Saturday video. So it launches on Tuesday, the 14th at 10 o'clock Pacific time. So here she is. This is a very different style brush than any of the other Wayne Goss brushes that he's done in the past. I've got every single brush that he's ever done. So this is a very different one. It's almost like a longer handled kind of kabuki. So all of Wayne's brushes are handmade Japanese makeup brushes. And this little guy here is dense. This is a very dense brush. This is a type of brush when I was strictly wearing powder foundation. This is the type of brush that I would go to. It's got a flat top, but the shape of it is quite different. It's got a little bit of a peak right there on the ferrule, but it's only on one side. So if you look right there, it looks like a teardrop. Very different shape brush there. And then the back side of it is circular all the way around, which what it reminded me of was the Lisa Eldridge foundation bottle. It's like the same shape. I thought that was gnarly because that's how her foundation bottle is shaped too. I think that's super cool. So I should probably try this brush with the Lisa Eldridge foundation. This guy here is very dense. So it's gonna buff out product really well, really easily, and really fast because of how dense it is. And it's super, super soft. Like I think you can even see probably through the screen right there just how soft that looks. Very, very soft brush. So today I actually use this for finishing powder. And because of the density of it, it almost diffuses all the color on my face when I use it with the meteorites just a little bit more. It blends it just a little bit more seamless. And depending on, you know, the strength of the blush I might have on, or maybe my bronzer looks a little heavy, will determine whether or not I want to use like a more dense brush. So if I used a heavier bronzer and I used a brush like this to buff it out, it's going to diffuse the color a lot easier than the brushes that I typically use with the meteorites, which are a little bit more wispy. So it's like a buffer blender diffuser brush. You can use this so many different ways. I want to try to use it for bronzer decks, but I really wanted to buff like all over the meteorites today. So that's what I did with this brush. Tomorrow I might try it out as a bronzer. I'll compare this brush next to his #1 brush, which is actually kind of like a foundation style brush, but this is one of my absolute favorite bronzer brushes. I just stick it in the hollows and blend it out. This is a duo fiber. So just so you can see the size difference and kind of the differentiation between the two, this is his #1 foundation brush right here, and then here is the new holiday brush. So it's got this little, you know, flat side right here that says Wayne Goss on it, and then it's circular the rest of the way, and then it's got this point right here, and then it's circular right here. And this again is so dense. It's a buffer deluxe for sure. So there it is in comparison to his #1 brush right there. I just want to make sure you guys can see the shape of it really well. And a huge thank you to Wayne and Beautylish for sending this over. I adore the Wayne Goss brushes. Like I said, I have every single one that he's ever done and multiples of several. And then this last PR package is from Kaleidos, and I was just beside myself when I got this because who does not want an encyclopedia full of highlighters? Yes, I do. So they sent over this really pretty box, and it's got the Encyclopedia of Kaleidos Space Age highlighters in there. And what excited me about this is not only was there another one of the other multi-chrome highlighters, but the new one is in here, as well as other highlighters that they have in their existing range, which I also really like. So this is what it looks like right there. You've got your 8 shades. I'm going to go ahead and swatch every single shade in here. So I was so excited to get another one of the M01 Prophecy shade, which is a multi-chrome with the most beautiful shift in it. And then their new one, the number 2, which is called Gifted. And that's actually the highlighter that I have on my cheeks today. That's also a multi-chrome. It doesn't look so much so in this particular lighting, but depending on the amount of exposure with the lighting that you're in, it shifts. So like I had gone into my bathroom earlier and I didn't have the lights on, but the light from the window was coming in the bathroom. And so it looks really pink in here. Like I hadn't seen the shift that it had until I went into the bathroom, and it has this golden, like slight, very, very slight green shift in the bathroom. So they're very shifty depending on the amount of light that hits it, which is super cool. So let's swatch these guys. So the highlighters are made in the PRC, and here is the box packaging for the new one. There is a total of 0.06 ounces in both the Gifted shade and also the Prophecy shade. The formulation on these two is different than the other ones. It's a I liken it to like a multi-chrome Cliona eyeshadow. That's kind of what it feels like. You'll see in the swatches just this beautiful shine and glaze that they have, and they are multi-chrome. The other ones are more like a powder style, but those ones stick really well to the skin for me, and I have a drier skin type, so I really like their original ones as well. So here's the new one. I love the packaging. Let's give you a swatch. I've got this on today as well. So it kind of looks not like a white almost, but this has got a strong pink shift to it in direct lighting. I grabbed a mirror real quick. You can see that pink? And then if I shift it just a little bit here, you can see a green, like a greeny gold shift in there. So it's definitely multi-chrome, but it's hard to detect, especially in front of these bright lights. You can really see the shiftiness in a little bit dimmer lighting. They're just really cool. Really, really cool. And look at that shine. They're so beautiful. So that's the new one in Gifted right there. And then here's Prophecy, which is the first one that they did in this formulation. And this one here, it looks like a golden green when you first look at it and in bright lighting, and then in the dimmer light it switches to a beautiful peach color. So let me grab this mirror again, so if we can't get that effect for you. This lighting is pretty bright, but it's really hard. The bottom one shifts. It's still showing pretty greenish gold in the mirror there, but in dimmer light it has a strong peachiness to it. But like the shifting aside, look at how shiny they are. Look at how beautiful they are. I love these highlighters, and they stick to my dry skin really, really well too. So that one is the Prophecy one right there, and there's the new one in Gifted. And then I'm going to swatch the other 6 that come in the package as well. So here is Space Age right here, which is a champagne. Then we've got Star Surfer. I use this one quite a bit. It's got a pinkiness to it. And then you have got Mars Melter. This one's more like a glaze, like a topper almost. These two are more traditional kind of powder. This shade is Moon Cruiser. It's got a really strong blue shift to it. And then we've got Skywalker. And then the last one is Solar Sailor, and this one's got a strong golden shift to it. So those are the highlighters from Kaleidos right there. They're all really beautiful, but these are super special. These 2 highlighters, very special. They are onto something with that formula. Give me more. I want more. They also sent over their precision highlighter brush, which is a super, super soft synthetic. It's got a slight pinch to it and then like a dome shape. It's a really good shade for like a little bit of precise setting powder, and then also for what it's intended for, which would be highlighter. They also sent over another one of their Apple Glaze lip masks, which I have got the one I've been using right here, which kind of sits right in front. And I like to use these kind of throughout the day, or when I put my makeup on, I put it on as a lip mask while I'm doing my eye makeup so that it sits and kind of nourishes the skin. This one's got a little bit of a tint to it, the Apple Glaze one, and a slight, very, very slight apple scent to it. It's very faint though, but I just want to kind of swatch it for you guys so you can see the little bit of berry tint that it gives. It's not a lot though, and I really like these for throughout the day type of balms, but it's not quite heavy enough for me at nighttime, but they feel really nice on the lips for a balm product throughout the day. And then also when I'm getting ready, I use them as a, you know, lip mask for that time frame. And a huge thank you to Kaleidos for sending those over. So that is everything that I have for my haul today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I will see you guys later. Bye.